Alright, hey there, E here, and we are back rather late with some more Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader, where last time we actually just started a new game and almost got through the tutorial, but didn't quite get through it. We did the whole tutorial things, met a whole bunch of people, learned the controls, learned a bit about why we're here, sorta. Saw some dead people, recruited some new people to our party. Yeah, bit of a dead Lord Captain there, but yeah, I believe we are almost done with this, and then we can actually get into the story proper. So yeah, not too much left. We started off the new game we started off with was the unfair difficulty, not the Iron Man mode, so we can still save and reload as needed. But yeah, not too much for that we actually need to get done. Just follow this tutorial. So that, yeah, let's just move on. I think we're actually on right before the last mission of this. Yeah, this might be the final fight, and then we are out of the tutorial. Probably. Test failed.
The first sacrifice opens the eye. The second sacrifice draws its gaze.
Not very sneaky.
Help has arrived. Too late to change the tide, I'm afraid. But if there is any honor in you, we can at least die with dignity and give our lives for the rogue trader.
Yeah, I wonder if we could have actually arrived on time then. Because I believe the first time I played, I also may have picked that decision. Yeah, definitely. A lot of things to do. A lot of options. Yeah, hide her death for now. They don't need to panic.
Oh, the rogue trader. He's dead?
Oh, never mind. He figured it out.
No matter what ritual Kunrad is performing there, the warp is too strong. I cannot withstand it. I feel my body changing with every second. The warp is ringing in the air. This is the end. We will perish in the warp, along with the Warrant and all the dynasty's heirs. The enemy of humanity has triumphed.
I've seen it before. We'd better get away from him. The changes are already accelerating.
Theodora looks anxiously at Edelthrad. Then she glances back. Let's see, embrace the warp? No, forbid them. Yeah, that's not going to work. The ship can still be steered out of the warp, but we must first restore communications between the bridge and the navigator sanctum.
Then we have no right to bow our heads.
You can see Kunrad Voidweeder clearly in the gloom of the bridge. The broken blade he is holding is stained with dark drops that seem to have a pearlescent glimmer to them.
We are out of time.
Edelthrad bites his knuckles, desperately thinking. You see a wave ripple across the whites of Edelthrad's eyes, and they begin to turn a sickly yellow. The aggressive, complicated things. No party, ready your weapons.
No. To die altogether is to allow the flame of the dynasty to perish in the dark. No. It will not be like this. Not today. The ritual will not be completed. I'll take care of it. And you, see to it that the void ship breaks free from the warp. Watch over our realm. And farewell.
Ethelred lowers his head, and then he sighs and locks eyes with you. His gaze cold, haughty, and fanatical. Well, he had quite the motivations in him.
Accursed traitor! A time will come when you will bleed for her ladyship Theodora's murder. Remember my words, for they are the vow of he who marches toward his death.
What? Theodora is dead? No, that can't be. Not now. I still haven't.
Witcher stares at you in seemingly genuine bewilderment. Well, that apparently wasn't to his plan.
Your ritual won't be finished, heretic!
Oh, looks like the ritual's finished. Defeat the warp creature, Chaos Ball. 204 wounds. Somewhat decent dodge. Good armor. Natural armor. Suffers more toxic and fire damage. Okay. Yeah, brutal strike, 6 to 9 damage. Regular strike. That's a toxic spurt. Yeah, burning within a 12 cell radius. But has a 3-round cooldown. And that's for 2. Rending Scream. Unlimited range. Okay, so bleeding for 5 rounds. Devour. Restores 30% of the creature's maximum wounds. Right, so either have to kill the enemies ourselves or use a chaos spawn to do that. Preferably we have to kill it ourselves though. Whenever enemy attacks deal damage to this creature, the percent of the creature's greater than the wounds. Gains weapon skill and strength. Does not say if it's for the end of the combat or not. Then we saw that one. Combat Master. Becomes staggered instead of suffering stunned. Or cannot attack effect becomes slowed instead of immobilized and suffers the side deafening effect instead of side somatic trauma. Enemy to falling prone. Okay. Yeah, so Abelard. Yeah, Abelard might have to actually be a bit on the closer side. And what is the order on this? Everyone else except our party. Our party kind of goes last. Although, no, Gamma goes first. Okay, if our party goes first, how much HP do you guys have? So you're here. Maybe she can use her powers to kill these guys right at the start. We can command her to do that. Gamma, you're fine right there. Yeah, we already saw the enemy status.
A wicked thought. A genius at work.
Not quite reaching. Could actively just kill them with one of these, maybe. This will not.
Not this Greyer's job.
Oh, that's too far. Apparently this will jump to them. Hey there, Saranic. Okay, if those guys are too far, let's just kill this one right away. Or at least try to.
Pain and duty go
Oh.
hand in hand.
Bit of backlash. Been been great. The tutorial is a bit long, but still. Nice start to a second run. Okay, so even though we had that backlash, it's still... Oh, almost killed him. Still survived.
Out of my way! Weapon at the ready. Stay vigilant. Die! Moving out.
Good, okay, so he's at least injured enough.
Death to the weak.
Oh, that's so much damage to Abelard. And what's it called? The heretics are just out of range. I send you down here. Can you kill this one? No. No line of sight. Yeah, probably have to focus on shooting the gal spawn. What's her movement? 4. Okay. Two to 4 versus 0 to 1. Anything else we can do? Furious Recital? No.
Rejoice in battle. This is why I was chosen. As the Emperor commands, I act. Faith without deeds is worthless.
Alright, good start.
On it.
Alright, try not to explode this time.
But of course.
My faith strengthens me.
Good work. Should we heal or not? Yeah, let's heal first.
The healing is much appreciated.
Yeah, try not to approach it just yet.
Tried and tested tactics are the best ones. At your beck and call. Victory is imminent.
My faith shields me.
Oh. Okay, apparently it can melee attack from a distance.
Oh, a wicked thought.
Now, Veiled Diversion is creeping up.
Schemes within schemes.
Can we do decent damage? No, we cannot.
A wicked thought.
At your beck and call.
Good, this has can knock him back.
I serve the ruinous powers.
Only 2 friendlies left. No, 3.
Death to non-believers. High momentum.
Momentum. Yeah, this us use this ability. Oh. Not this turn. Soldier gains the ability to make a number of extra attacks equal to their weapon's rate of map fire, at a minimum of 2. Using the weapon attack that can normally cost them least AP. These have to not spend AP, alright. Ooh, can use them. Don't have too much ammo. Probably not this round though. Just currently exhausted.
Blessed be the hand of the healer. I will bathe this battlefield in righteous fury. As the Emperor commands, I act.
We do one more psychic shriek, and then it'll be at the limit.
Will do.
Or no, okay, he's actually so far away. to 21. Doesn't look like it's actually going to increase the peril of the war. So might not have a problem with that one.
Anything else?
Oh, you just instantly devoured. Right, so that was a thing. Okay, build decorations and max. Can't use our psychic powers anymore. Don't need to expose. You. Oh, might have used up all of the exploits when we hit you. So we have to wait for that. Let's throw a momentum attack.
Break them around.
Two heretics left.
I've seen worse battles than this.
There, block it from moving forward.
It will be done. Will rule the stars themselves. I will do like you. It will be done. Victory is imminent. An exemplary strike. My ears are ringing.
Abelard. Going down, maybe. Can voice command you? No, you're downed. Argenta, anything you can do? No. You might just end up shooting Abelard.
I'll do it.
Chaos guides me. Chaos guides me. Brace yourself, Abelard.
Not here. No, you're just gonna be shooting Abelard.
Guided by faith. Doubt is for the weak. Faith without deed.
Yeah, can't use our warp abilities anymore.
Will do. But of course.
Even
excuse to shirk one's duty. It will be done. At your beck and call.
Extremely lucky if we're going to win this at this point.
Anything is.
The intricacies of mortality laid bare.
Okay, so Abelard absolutely cannot withstand any attacks to any degree. Definitely need to target these guys that can't heal. So there's that. Yeah, I hadn't realized that the Devour was a range ability and an automatic as well, giving it a free turn. Where is your turn? Okay, you go last. So we have to ignore you at the start. Pick up the forewarning for you.
Let's see. A genius at work.
Yeah, I won't be able to kill them. Pick up the running gun. No, not this time.
As the Emperor commands, I act. I'll do it.
Out of my way! Follow my lead. Follow my lead.
fire from here. No, okay, they're not lined up quite as nice.
The enemies of the Emperor will be undone. Doubt is for the weak. God Emperor, move through me. Be the fire in my heart.
Will do.
I think you need to kill those guys. You want to damage the chaos spawn. Yeah, I don't think Abelard would have enough ability to kill that one. Although, yeah, he's using range, so might back off. Probably maneuver him over here and then charge into him. Then might have to be able to kill him. Yeah, let's go with that.
Is that you?
Weapon at the ready.
A tactically sound approach.
Okay, that worked. Wasn't expecting him to die. Okay, 2 heretics left.
I will do my duty. It will be done.
Trying to die Abelard.
Just a minor setback.
Much less damage than what I was doing earlier. Yeah, what was it? How were you doing like half his life damage last time? Yeah, Finisar would be nice. But Abelard is down. Could deal with Argenta, but let's wait for the heretics to be cleared and then we can use that on her. Might be able to just have her shoot down the chaos spawn. For now, though.
What?
Now let's do a regular extra turn. Too far.
Powerless to act. Even I won't do that. I won't sully myself with that.
No, so you are too far.
War is my muse.
Bar's too close.
Anything is.
Yeah, and that won't be doing any damage.
Schemes within schemes.
Also, really good I did not do the Iron Man mode. Too good, they lined up right there. Oh, there was two over on that side.
Guides me.
I will bathe this battlefield in righteous fury. I'll do it.
My prescience has failed me.
Okay, don't fire on that one then. Yeah, still no line of sight for you.
Pain and duty go hand in hand. Ugh, my ears are ringing.
What? No. Shattered foes in my wake.
Oh, careful now.
Can you shoot him by any chance? No, he is very protected.
Step by step, I lead.
My faith strengthens me.
Follow my lead.
Alright, one heretic left.
Rejoice in battle.
Stop mocking me. But of course,
8 stacks. That's supposed to do now. Okay, yeah, this received more damage.
Break their morale.
Okay, it's finally dead. Yeah, it could knock you back, but you're just gonna have your turn. Yeah, he's gonna move. Not much point then knocking you back, and can't knock you down, so.
Brace yourself, Babylon.
Heretics said yes.
Another stroke of genius! Guided by faith! You, my emperor! I refuse.
Available. Alright, have yourself another turn.
Wicked thought. Faith without deeds is worthless. Let's see.
Follow my lead.
You run and gun, but that's not going to matter.
Stop it!
Oh, we should have done expose weakness first instead.
On it!
Will do.
Although, it's not going to knock you prone and you can just charge right back. Is it going to push you far enough away to use a charge attack? Yes, it will.
Indeed.
Alright, should have been doing that instead.
Just a minor setback.
A genius at work!
Yeah, this time around has been much easier.
Let's see.
Follow my lead.
As the Emperor commands, I act. I'll do it.
My prescience has failed me. Anything else?
Almost there.
jaw back and forth. One still on target.
There we go. Alright, much easier than I made it out to be in the first attempt. Alright, get more fellowship. Okay, any abilities we can get? Get stabilizing factor. Yeah, they can use that protection ability a bit more. Yeah, I can also use Fate Bringer. Class of abilities. 50% bonus dodge. By the first attack of opportunity. Yeah, better range weapons. Oh, where there's any talents down here that we'd actually want. More movement would definitely help. Let's go with maybe second sight. No, stabilizing factor. That we can just use forewarn a bit without less to worry. Blinders for you. Something on the more defensive side. More effective charge would be good. Get him, he could move around a bit more. He has increased the charge distance. And then boost your toughness even more. Theodora. Yeah, if you're not using your powers, you're just being a sniper. So probably just go with intelligence then. I wonder if Fatebringer will stack with Gammas if we got both of them Fatebringer. Now let's go with Aftershock, that's just more damage. Okay, paint channel will also be good, but we're not doing that high a damage yet. Yeah, let's just stick with Aftershock. Go with their ballistic skill. Controlled shots. Where do you pick that one up? Rub it on this one. 30% chance to ignore any enemy attack. Low, but it's still 3% better than none. Guaranteed critical on a dodge. Dodger uses cover. Now, is it a guaranteed crit regardless of hit chance? Or does it actually have to hit and then it's a guaranteed crit? Regardless, that is still potentially a better option. Rebel and Slaughter. Used on... yeah, used much quicker. Yeah, just removing wounded. Yeah, trace the trajectory, and then exploit surroundings would go well together. In addition with fired up. Let's go with Swift Slaughter for now. No, let's go with Second Skin. And then work on getting like trace trajectory, exploit surrounding, and then fired up. You're using light armor, right? Or medium? Yeah, medium. More toughness for you. Now then, what did you have for Iconoclast? Feature of have to use in battle increases the wearer's dodge by 20% until the end of combat. Max of 60. Not bad. Blade Shard. Mysterious. Gloves of Endurance. Whenever the wearer of these gloves suffers an injury or falls unconscious in combat, the allies gain a +1 bonus to damage until the end of combat. Yeah, I suppose that's a good just in case item. Abelard, do you have gloves? Oh, Rary wearing a cloak. But you're not being near anyone, so that should be good. And some of the crew actually survived this time. going?
Peace in my wake.
Yeah.
Rivor, Master Helmsman, systems status report.
By the Emperor, it's the Seneschal. Living and breathing. Well, there's a tricky question. The old place is so overgrown with foul wickedry. We'll be scrubbing it off the vid screens for throne knows how long.
Yeah, how'd y'all survive?
Must have been Providence. It better have been the Emperor's, not someone else's. When they barged in here, the ones with the Master of Whispers, some officers charged them, but it wasn't even a fight. I grabbed whoever I could and dragged them behind the cogitators. Then, I prayed for our rescue.
Not heretics, are you? Your words seem to knock the officers out of their stupor, and the air around you fills with voices and commands being issued. You hear someone sobbing, one of the survivors are buckling under the stress. Abelard cuffs off the crying officer without even looking.
Restore the Fox channel to the Navigator's Sanctum. Ready the crew. Prepare for translation to real space. You may call me superstitious, but translation is not a good time to disregard rules. You are the only one who speaks for House von Valancius. You may not be the Lord Captain, but you, more than anyone else, deserve to take her place in the ritual that is about to commence.
Alright, so what exactly are we going to be doing for this ritual?
Take the Lord Captain's seat. Order the final preparations. Wait for the officers to report. Oh, blast it all to the void. Translation is a craft, not something to be explained in a tick. Just go up to the throne, mistress. These people are about to do the impossible. The least they deserve is the solace of seeing a figure sitting in the usual spot. And please hurry. Every second we waste is a terrible risk.
Okay, so nothing too complicated then. Theodora. The image before you is hazy, swing in sorcerous currents, invisible to mortal eyes. As if whatever is beneath this thin shell is constantly changing while still remaining the same. It has taken on the guise of Theodora, but the false rogue trader's eyes reveal the entity's true, surreal nature. One of Theodora's eyes is engulfed in otherworldly fire. The other, a vessel of ancient evil, bores into you. A voice seeps directly into your brain without ever reaching your ears, and this voice booms with all the horrors of the warp. No time for ghosts.
Who are you to oppose destiny itself for the sake of lives that are not your own? So many threads stretch between you and other creatures of your world. Pitiful, worthless links, ready to shatter at the slightest touch. A muddled, erratic, pointless tangle.
Well, a little bit angry about us leading people out of that trap, aren't you? It resonates and merges with the voices that have already dug their foul roots into your consciousness. A moment later, you realize that all these voices are the myriad manifestations of the same call that has finally invaded your mind. Only by the corrupt weapon. Yeah, I wonder if we really could have avoided that. Yeah, you're just some warp entity, no need to talk with you.
This violent vow to return with a trophy, a relic that could serve the edge of daybreak. That fate was assured, and the steps chosen. And yet, you broke the unbreakable when you took
Your head begins to spin and viscous drops slither down your cheeks. You blink and you're no longer looking at Theodora. It is a traitor Voidweir, just as fluid and ephemeral as the previous apparition. The same terrifying voice seized from his lips. Dasmer vowed to return with the trophy. But then... yeah, saying that Gamma took the place of the aspirant. Was Theodora actually the actual heretic traitor? The aspirants. Is this something else then? Yeah, I don't remember if this has been added because of DLC or something else. Yeah, I don't remember this from the first time I played through. Interesting.
Your image is woven into the tapestry of things to come. I am the will of the weaver of destinies, and today I will weave a new thread of elusive possibilities and fickle chances. The thread that will lead you out of the maw of irreversibility. The thread that will help you find the keys to salvation. The thread that will guide you and the weapon of our return to me.
The image is scattered by invisible sorceress winds, and you see Adira, her eyes aglow with the same sinister flame.
The path is set, child of the dawn. The thread is woven. Follow it, servant of mine.
A cavalcade of hazy glimpses of a future yet unknown passes before your eyes. A flash of crimson, purple. The images replace one another in a violent kaleidoscope without ever letting you get a proper look at them. Through the rippling mirage, you see a twisted image of Abelard. Alright, enough talking with warp entities.
Seneschal, the navigator's sanctum is silent. The Vox signal is stable, which means...
And nobody saw their captain engaging in heresy. Helmsman Ravor. He turns around and looks up at you. He hesitates for a few moments, then addresses Abelard, who is standing next to you.
The navigator gave his life battling the storm that nearly claimed the von Valancius flagship. We will honor his memory, along with that of all who died this day.
Seneschal, will you tell us now? Who is that? Where's the Lord Captain?
As First Officer, it is my duty to inform you with the greatest regret and indelible sorrow that Lord Captain Theodora von Valancius is dead. May her memory never fade from the annals of the dynasty.
It took time for Abelard to respond. Gritted his teeth, unable to bring himself to say anything, until he finally dusted his blood-stained coat and straightened out.
By right of blood succession, and with the absence of other kin who could challenge this decision.
Yeah, I wonder if we're gonna get any more people showing up. We were told that there were others. Don't refuse this. You're suddenly rich. Embrace it.
It is hereby declared that the successor to Theodora von Valancius is her heir, the rightful inheritor of the warrant of trade, and the title of Rogue Trader. The official ascension ceremony will be held at a later time. In the interim, have you lost your tongues? Hail your lady. It is because of her toils that we all still live.
Got that right. Even if it did take a few tries.
The deed is done, mistress. My apologies. I meant to say Lord Captain.
It looks at least a half-decade older.
The treachery treachery of the Master of Whispers was fruitless, but victory came at a great cost. Lord Captain Theodora von Valancius perished along with her heir Edelthrad, and thousands of crew members. Yet hope remained, for the second in line to the rogue trader dynasty survived, and through the strength of her resolve, saved those who were counting on her for protection.
Nice little scene, and I believe that is the proper end of the tutorial now. Prologue time. Cargo management. The cargo management screen tells more about the cargo on your flagship. Amount types and percentage of cargo being filled up. Cargo tab, you can see details about the items packed in each cargo. If you need to use an item that's already packed, move that item back to your inventory. Fine then. And now the voice acting stops. Mostly. Abelard. Deep Shadow's awareness can be seen on Abelard's face, though the old officer's eyes are keen. They rake over you from head to toe. He frowns, mutters something, then nods himself. Well then, your ladyship. You cannot help but notice the seneschal does not know how to talk to you or where to begin. His hesitation brings an involuntary smirk to your face, as though someone else entirely is gloating at the old officer's confusion. Seeing your smile, Abelard pulls himself together. Abelard, you must now hold your first officer briefing in your new role. In your new role as Lord Captain. For many of those who are about to join us on the bridge, this will also be their first briefing. Sustained massive losses among the senior and middle ranking officers. Some posts have had to be filled by the deputy, while others go unfulfilled entirely, and now the deck clans are deciding who will take over the leaderless crews. Wow, so many of the leadership actually died. Yeah, very well thought out mutiny. First of all, about the Voitvir. Abelard grits his teeth. No, Lord Captain. In all the commotion, his trail went cold. Our people are still on the hunt for him, and any mutineers who may still be skulking in the ship's many corridors. But frankly, I would not be surprised to hear that we are now one shuttle short. I'm afraid that will be some time before he answers for all that he has wrought. Fantastic. Now then, how do we even lose so many officers? Abelard, it appears the heretics were deliberately targeting the vessel's command. They knew exactly whom they were looking for and where they could be found, which is unsurprising given that their informant on board was our own Master of Whispers. Abelard grimaces. Yeah, makes sense. So then what's on the agenda? Abelard reports on the condition of the ship and crew. Lord Captain is not usually drawn away from her important affairs to send such routine briefings, but this is a unique situation. I am still receiving updates from across the ship, and they are not encouraging. Getting this bird to fly could take a gargantuan effort, even so far as you personally negotiating with the authorities of the system we are currently in. So prepare to hear a bevy of complaints and excuses, your ladyship. Take this opportunity to get a good look at the officers who work 6 decks away from the bridge, and they in turn will have the honor of beholding the vestige of their Lord Captain. I need to chastise him about the Lord Captain. Nah, he figured it out. Right, well then, summon the officers. Abelard with the gesture. Abelard relays orders to the adjutants at the far end of the magnificent chamber. A dozen pairs of eyes bore into you, the expression revealing restraint, joy, curiosity, and wariness. Well, it's not hostility. Abelard, attention officers. You have been granted an honor. Lord Captain Gamma von Valancius will personally conduct today's briefing. Our most gracious Lord Captain is ready to hear your reports. Yeah, don't be dismissive. Take it serious. So, with that in mind, let's get actual introductions first. Who are we talking to? As you wish. Abelard points to a tall, slender woman whose body seems to contain as many implants as it does flesh. Vigdis Suriota of the Talaman line, our new Voxmaster. Voxmaster Vigdis. It is an honor to serve. The Voxmaster offers a deep bow. On board this vessel, you have at your command thousands of crew members and hundreds of officers and section chiefs. I am responsible for receiving, processing, and sending all communications between you and them, as well as external sources. I am your eyes and mouth, Lord Captain. Abelard. Beside her is Ravor, Master Helmsman. He steers our ship along the course set by the Lord Captain and monitors the void around us. Ensure that we do not stray into an asteroid field or a pirate trap. Helmsman Ravor, the bearded man with a pale and almost transparent skin, large dark circles under his eyes, and a dour expression that seems hardwired into his face, gives a sullen nod. Hail, Lord Captain. This here ship as good as home to me, so rest assured she's in safe hands. I'll die before I let her come to any grief. Good to know. Abelard. And lastly, our high factotum Janus and Danrock, who oversees supplies, procurement, and the general material well-being of the ship. Janus and Danrock, dressed in an embroidered jacket, the heavy-set man with oiled hair offers an obsequious smile and bows. It is an honor, your ladyship. You may trust me with all the matters concerning your comfort. Everything will be done to the highest standard. What an arrogant-looking fellow. Abelard. In the second row, we have the 3 officers charged with overseeing the ship's vital functions. Master of Ordnance is responsible for the artillery aboard. The Infernus Master, whose crew work to prevent and extinguish fires on the ship. And lastly, the Drive Master, servant of the Omnissiah. The 3 officers salute you. The Infernus Master does so with confidence, while the Master of Ordnance betrays nervousness. The Drive Master offers a salute resembling a dance, involving the complicated manipulation of all the tech priests and mechadendrites. Yeah, so clearly the Master of Ordnance is very new. So is that everyone? Vigdis. Unfortunately, our choir master, the esteemed Zachary Wise, head of the Astropath section, is unable to join us. He is in charge of communications with distant star systems. Master Wise has been in a trance for some time now, attempting to contact other planets in the Von Valancius Protectorate and inform them of Lady Theodora's passing and Kunrad Voidweir's treachery. I will deliver a report to your leadership on the Astropath's progress as soon as it is possible to do so. Very well. Janus Danrock. It's equally regrettable that 2 more individuals worthy of mention did not join us at the briefing. Master at Arms and Confessor Adalbert. Devin and Adalbert must see to the funeral services being held for the fallen officers, for whom there are too many for him to take leave from the chapel. And Mistress Sarbak, who has replaced her late predecessor as our Master-in-Arms, is currently in search for any surviving agents of Whitford. Yeah, we saw her earlier. Abelard, all these presents are adjutants, secretaries, and deputies. They are here to make a record of proceedings. All good. Alright, maybe let's start at the top. Infernus. Oh, I think you actually have a portrait this time. You didn't have one last time. Ironric Montig. Yes, Lord Captain. The tall man bows his head in deference. I can report that all fires across the decks have now been extinguished. The preliminary damage assessment in terms of material losses and crew casualties has been completed. The results have been submitted to the Seneschal and High Factotum. Okay, you weren't actually named. Yeah, I was wondering about that. Abelard, why didn't you name him last when you were talking about him? Just on this title? And then Abelard. The post passed to him after the previous Infernus Master and his next 3 deputies expired in the next line of duty. Oh wow. Back further down, Abelard remarks in a low voice, pitch for your ears only. The lad is managing well so far. He can take the heat, so to speak. Was that any excuse then to leave his name off when you were introducing him? Now then, Factotum. Janus Nanrock. We are toiling day and night to compile a full account of the losses. The task will require next to no involvement from your ladyship. I will personally ensure that all damaged components are given into the tech priest's hands for attention, and that all lost supplies are replaced. There's only one resource that I cannot replenish single-handedly, and that is people. We have lost more than 2,000 crew members, and unfortunately this number is not confined to the scum from the lower decks, which are easily replaced, but also include trained professionals. Can't you just train up the scum from the lower decks? We'll be unable to make up our losses on the nearest planet. Oh, we will be able to. On Ragged Minoris, however, the planet, the whole system, in fact belongs to the Winterscale Rogue Trader dynasty. We cannot simply begin recruiting on the planet without first coming to an understanding with the governor. Hey there, Bella. In that respect, I am powerless. Negotiations at this level are a matter for the Rogue Trader. Yeah, so what exactly is our relation to the Winterscale dynasty? Are we allies or are we friendly? The game is going quite well. It's about what I expect from the difficulty levels that are at. It's difficult but still manageable. Abelard. Especially true given Caligos Winterscale's penchant for attacking first and then asking questions later, and the kind of thick-skulled thugs he usually installs as governors on his planets, rumbles Abelard, frowning. Yeah, it's so maybe a difficult dealing with them then. Drive Master. How about you? Oh, and you don't get a portrait. Zira Taller. The voice distorted by a Vox retranslator emerges from under the tech priestess Scarlet Hood. Lord Captain. The foes that set upon this noble void ship destroyed the repositories of hundreds of machine spirits. The great warp engine entrusted into my charge is unharmed. Thank the Omnicide, but its spirit mourns its dead brethren. We have not yet identified a prayer protocol capable of assuaging the sorrow and anger. With the Great Sorrow, I must report that the Engineer Prime, Overseer, and Spiritual Authority of all the tech priests on board fell in battle. The Magos was betrayed by the little flesh that remained a part of him. A most terrible loss. There's no one among my comrades aboard whose experience and comprehension of the sacred protocols equal that of the fallen Magos. We require a replacement as soon as possible. Right, very urgent. Would someone care to translate this Team Drive Master's words? No, it should be pretty obvious. They lost someone skilled and none of the people currently on board can actually match that, so we need to find a replacement from one of the worlds we're going to. So yeah, thank you for your report. Deck Priest bows her head. Okay, new quests. Find that person. Helmsman, what about you? Right, you are, Lord Captain. To cut a long story short, the outlook is bleak. The ships sound more or less, but without the engineer prime and navigator who fell in battle, we have no way out of the system. If we try to set so much as a toe inside the warp, I don't know what'll happen first, our warp drive being torn to pieces or all of us melting into the bulkheads. Yes, quite terrible. Yep, definitely play other games. Yeah, I can alternate between the beginning of the week and the end of the week. Leadership. If you'll allow me to interject, when we arrived in this system, my crew followed standard protocols and conducted a count of all the available communications channels in the region. One of them was a Navis Stabilité station. The station maintained complete Vox silence, but even its presence here inspires hope. To have located a navigator in the very same system is an incredible stroke of luck. True blessing from the God Emperor. Yes, very lucky. A sharp bolt pain lances through your skull as if in response to what you just heard. You understand this is not the God Emperor you should thank for such good fortune. The words of the demon that appeared before you during this translation to real space echo in your mind. I am the will of the weaver of destinies, and today I will weave a new thread of elusive possibilities and fickle chances. The thread that will lead you out the maw of irreversibility. The thread that will help you find the keys of salvation. And all because of that blade. Bravor. If I were you, I'd grab this chance with both hands, or else you'll soon be eyeing up asteroids to use as your new residence. In slightly less terrible news, we can go around and around the system till our heads are swimming, as long as Promethium and supplies last. And if any thick as Grok's crap lowlifes come sniffing around, we will be able to take them out. So don't you worry on that score. You say that, but what does the Master of Ordnance have to say? Asher Naitalomo? The Master of Ordnance gives you a gloomy look. No, my job's simple. Maintain the arsenal and fire when I'm told. Just ask anyone. We've got no able crew, no Lord Captain. Abelard, Master of Ordnance, you forget yourself. Ashar, Master of Ordnance chokes back the words he was obviously about to blurt out without thinking. He casts another look at you before turning away. I apologize profusely, Lord Captain. Pardon the fool. The ship is in ruins, every other officer is dead, and the Lord Captain is no longer with us. Fear has taken hold of me. Were you very low ranking before your promotion? He looks up at you, but I've heard of you. Yes, your fame has reached even as far as the Expanse. Really, illustrious glory. I thought we were known for almost blowing up a void ship last time. Can't believe showing myself in front of the illustrious person such as yourself. He adjusts his uniform and stands ramrod straight. Master of Ordnance can report that the rest of the arsenal has been saved and the battery is in good order. We are ready to fight if that is the Lord Captain's will. Okay, at least you know what needs to be done, even if you are lacking competence. To summarize, we have sustained serious losses of crew members and require new engines here, Prime and Navigator. That all is preventing us from continuing the voyage. Abelard, precisely, Lord Captain. But bear in mind that this will not be the end of our trials. The ship systems must be properly inspected for major damage, which can only be carried out at Footfall Station, home to the only dockyard in the sector. But we'll never reach Footfall first without solving these 3 immediate problems. Right. Yeah, and then there's still a matter of ensuring that there are no more mutineers aboard, as well as ensuring that there is no additional sabotage. Quite a lot of work. Now that about the system we currently find ourselves in, I cede to the Voxmaster on this point, Mr. Stoloman. Victus, we are in the Rekhed star system, and our voyage here was undertaken on the order of your leadership's predecessor. There are 3 inhabited bodies in the system, and our attempts to send Vox messages have produced confounding results. Right, why confounding? The Navis Nobility Station has not simply failed to answer, it seems to be maintaining total Vox silence. However, we did receive a distress signal from the present planetoid in the system, and Rekhed Minoris itself is also not responding to our hails. But what is most alarming is that our augurs have intercepted signals from the surface that seem to indicate ongoing hostilities on the planet. Now, the situation is not very encouraging, but without a navigator, a tech priest, and new crew members, we won't be able to travel anywhere. Therefore, we must go to the planet and the Novus Nobility Station to find out what in the void is going on. Very well then. Everyone dismissed. The summoned officers salute you as one. Abelard, your ladyship, there's one other thing. And what was this brought up? Confidential matter of the utmost importance. Oh. Lady Theodora, Abelard hesitates. Your eternally esteemed predecessor brought the ship here to the system for a reason. She was given a secret commission. You perhaps are wondering who has the authority to commission a rogue trader to do anything. And I shall tell you, the Lord Inquisitor, the hand of the Emperor, the chief architect of his wills in the Cronus Expanse. Yeah, that note. Came across a strange handwritten letter in Theodora's desk. It was signed XC. You're referring to the context of that note, I presume. Yes, quite. XC. Xavier Calcazar. Lady Theodora was to seek out the Lord Inquisitor's right-hand man, one Heinrich van Kalox, an interrogator, you understand. All I know is that he is somewhere in the system, that we must find him and offer him whatever assistance he requires, and then deliver him to Footfall in the Furbund's system. Finding him without any more information to go on will be difficult instead, but an Inquisitor is an important individual. The authorities in the system, either the Navis Nobility or the governor of Rekhed Minoris, may know something. Okay, so 2 options. That is all of it, your ladyship. You have a great deal to work ahead of you, but it is a mere taste of the daily burden of the rogue trader. Soon you must take up the reins of the Von Valancius Protectorate. Abelard gives you another scrutinizing look, as if trying to gauge how long you will hold out under this mountain of problems. His face softens slightly, and it seems he's about to offer some words of encouragement. But then, what now? Abelard, Idira, Sister Argenta, explain yourselves. Argenta, the Sister of Battle grimly nods towards Idira. The Psyker is suffering some ailment, or dark madness. She insisted on seeing the rogue trader. I judged that it would be unwise to leave her unsupervised. Yeah, Idira's a problem when you were the one that were about to shoot us when we first met. For a brief moment, Sister Argenta's voice sounds hesitant. I was also hoping to approach you with a personal request. But it can wait. Speak with me when you have a time, Rogue Trader. Very well then. There's glazed eyes rove over those assembled. One word burst from her lips. Daybreak. Yeah, well, wasn't that what that spirit was saying earlier? Can you go up that far? No, okay. Not that far. Well then, Indira, come to your senses. Indira presses her fingers to her temples in desperation. Your ladyship. Here's the thing. I was trying to see the immediate future, and it hit me so hard. My head is still spinning. Something very strange is heading our way, and I can't make out what it is. No matter how hard I try, a single word is all I can make out. Daybreak. Or maybe it's dawn. It's ringing and ringing like an echo, like a bell. But if it's daybreak, then why is it so dark? Abelard, we cannot extract any information of value from a single word. Can you tell us anything else, Mr. Talas? No, not yet anyway. The voices are going berserk, all shouting at once. I can't make sense of any of it. As soon as I know or sense anything, I'll report it, alright? Lord Captain, if you want me to take a closer look into your future, find me on the bridge and we can talk. Lady Theodora was well served by my whispers on many occasions, and I'm sure you would benefit from them as well. The Psyker's bitten lip stretched into a wry smile. If there's nothing else of value to report, to declare this briefing concluded. Time to get to work. There we go. Now we can move around. Okay, those Vigdis. Very different model than portrait. Ravor Argenta. Heinrich, there you are. Anything important with you guys? Tall man before you appears to be a woven from tendon and muscle, blue-veined snake under his white, almost dove-colored skin, and his scalp and chin are covered in cropped white hair. His neck and shoulders are wrapped in wires that hint at the presence of neural connectors under his uniform. The officer's face seems to be twisted in a perpetual grimace of annoyance and anger, but he greets you with a respectful nod. Now then, nothing too specific, just some background information, looks like. What about the other officers? Good for nothing wasters, that's what they are. Each and every one. Take generous Danrock, that highborn weasel. He fawns over the officers, but some of the deals he makes would get him burn him alive. He drags other people into his scheme so they can't take the fall for him too. One of my junior helmsmen was ferrying goods from Footfall for him, got caught by the seneschal. Ended up in the void hatch. Danrock couldn't care less. Yeah, why was he spaced? Yeah, if he was doing work for Janus, shouldn't Abelard taken it up with him then? Yeah, what the problems? Voxmaster, another tall man like the last one, Void rests him. is no better. She cut off half the box channels the day she took up her post. Said the box systems were damaged and the engineerium had no contact with other modules. But how am I supposed to steer the ship? Collect the cog reports with the power of my mind? Well, if they're damaged, they're damaged. Can't do much about that. First officer was Syrian. Can't stand him. Like every Navy officer I met, he doesn't know a thing about controlling a vessel in the void. But he puffs himself up the same and throws his weight around. Me and him had to have words a few times before he left me alone. I think the Emperor Lady Theodora trusted me more than Seneschal when it came to helming a void ship. True, Seneschal is not captaining the ship for a reason. Yeah, and clearly has a few lesser qualities when it comes with the decision making. Then there's that woman, what's her name, Lass. Lady Theodora brought her along wherever she went and took and look what happened to her. I wouldn't be surprised if it turns out it was that witch that delivered her to an early grave. Just like countless souls before, I don't see why anyone would want that walking calamity on their ship. But someone says to agree. They say she's a friend with the young Ptolemy, you know, or at least she used to be. Rather rude calling it a zero walking calamity, considering that Gamma is also a psyker. Now then, do you like anyone at all? Whoever looks perplexed. What kind of question is that? I like you and Lady Theodora before you. Where would I be if I was making cracks about the rogue trader? Don't want to die just yet? Well, just because you're not making cracks about them doesn't mean you actually like them. It just means you're very quiet when you can be. And then just questioning about being voidborn. Yeah, because they're not the people we're going to talk to. Let's just keep it to our crew from our main companions for now.
Rogue trader.
And your voice. Sister Argenta looks tired. There are dark circles under her eyes. Her hair is somewhat disheveled and she moves like she's a little on edge. Now then, first off, you had a request.
I indeed have a request, Rogue Trader. The accursed servants of chaos who assaulted this ship took the lives of your loyal crew members, and they orphaned many children, including the progeny of the brave officers who defended their posts until the bitter end. I don't know what customary practices there are for cases like this in von Valancius territory, but in the world I'm familiar with, the children of such brave souls could expect to receive some special consideration. Perhaps the rogue trader could meet with the orphans?
Alright, so a bit of care for the crew then. Addressing to speech, they won't care about that. Although a bit of a show wouldn't hurt. No formalities needed. These are children of people who give their lives for the Von Valancius dynasty. Consideration is the least that they deserve. I mean, it's a bit too personal. Deliberate order on behalf, the orphans are to be properly provided for, but a personal meeting with the rogue trader is too much. Why would I? Do you wish to fill these children's heads with the illusion that the world and its rulers care about them? I suppose we can go to the meeting. Also, but what do you expect from the meeting?
These These children are the future of your crew, and one day, they too will have to stand against evil and heresy as their parents did. By meeting them, by speaking the right words to them, you will honor the memory of the fallen heroes and light the way to heroes in the making. They will always remember the day they met the rogue trader. Besides, it will bolster the orphans' spirits, help them recover from their loss, which can be hard for someone so young.
Alright, I suppose we can go to meeting.
I will pass on your instructions. Thank you for taking my request to heart.
Oh, okay, probably doing this right away. The motley group of adolescents did not take their eyes off you, gazing at you as if you were a creature straight from a fairy tale. Abelard, our indefatigable sister has been keeping an eye on these pups. Abelard glances at the gathered children. It is hardly the skull of progenome in here, but we have provided the orphans on our ship with adequate care and instructions. Argenta is standing at the side of the group. At your approach, she perks up and announces, her voice ringing. Brave ones, the master of the ship has appeared before you, the one who guides it through the darkness of the universe by the Emperor's will. Greet our Lord Captain, the rogue trader of House von Valancius. You notice Infernus Master Einrich Montag standing a few paces away from the orphans. He watches you with approval and bows respectfully when you meet his gaze. Address the chaperone, smile at the group, and grandly address the group. And first off, Infernus Master, why are you here? Not at all, your leadership. I'm just looking out for them. It's Infernus' way to help the folks in trouble. It's our job after all. So we chip in rations here and there and make sure nobody gives them a hard time. We take the older ones into the clan's care if they want. Many in the guild are not our family by blood, but by circumstance. Okay, quite generous of you. Just some grandly. Oh, keep it simple. Yeah, keep it simple. The teenager's eyes keep staring at you. The girl who has remained close to her agenda smiles uncertainly. The skinny pale lad tries to throw her shoulders back and stand at attention like a soldier. Only a few teenagers at the far end of the row seem sullen and not particularly impressed. One of the scowling visitors with a thin scar across his face tosses his head back and says bitterly, "So what? Why should we care? Our friends and parents died in their dozens and for your noble lot, and you just give us speeches." Argenta quickly turns to the boy. A flurry of emotion flashes in her dark eyes, like she wants both to calm him and scold him for his impudence. Can ignore the interruption. If you have anything to say them without fear. I will listen. Just chaperones. Lose much to be desired. I hope that they will be molded into worthy servants. Just the chaperones, punish the troublemaker. Or to send them off. What exactly is your problem? The boy smiles grimly. It doesn't matter what we say, it won't bring our parents back, and it won't change our fates either. We keep slipping away on this ship until we drop and die like our folks, or worse. That is almost heretical talk. I understand your grief and dismay. Your parents died. It's not an easy thing to go through, but they gave their lives for the truth, for the good of the whole ship. For the Imperium did not speak of their honorable fate with anger and disdain. When the heretics who killed your parents attacked the ship, I was there. I took command and fought to repel the assault as quickly as I could. But no war can be won without losses. You can only strive to do what is within your power. The strong have the power to decide the fate of the others. The weak either obey or die. You seek a different lot in life, boy. Save your growth and look for an opportunity to rise above the rest. Yeah, that feels like that'd be rather mutinous inspiration. And then back to dressing the chaperones. Let's go with... Yeah, so I'm not too sure how we want to play playing our rogue trader though. I'll go with this one. Maybe inspire him to betray us. Get a special event out of that. Plus it feels like this one would be the choice that I did not pick last time. Furthest away from that. Yeah, I might have picked one of these two last time. Yeah, sure, why not? See what happens. Argenta, you heard the rogue traders, her words carry the wisdom of the Imperium. It's hard to say whether or not your words have left an impression on the boy, but he nods slowly, then catches himself and gives you an awkward bow. Abelard gives a sign, and servants immediately emerge carrying package treats with Von Valancius emblazoned on the wrappers. It appears essential. Came prepared for your contingency, for any contingency. Wow, even Von Valancius branded foods. Quite the dynasty. Are you just tossing them? Argenta rubs her temple pensively. He smiles and offers a few more words of encouragement, then leaves the bay. I wonder then if I should have gone with the other ones instead. Yeah, considering Iron is there, probably could have done something with that instead. Oh well. We made our choice.
Greetings.
And now this is just background information then.
Gladly. There are none more faithful to the God Emperor than my sisters. We fight against his enemies by the will of the Holy Ecclesiarchy. I beg your pardon, Rogue Trader. Here I am talking about what every lesser noble in the Imperium knows. So what exactly are you interested in hearing about?
I'm quite enthused about that. What order are you from?
Once I had completed my novitiate, I was sent to the Calixian branch of the Order of Our Martyred Lady, assigned to the Order's Pronatus. The Order's mission is vital and noble. The Sisters Pronatus protect great relics of the Imperium. We guard them, preserve them, escort them when they are brought onto the battlefield or presented for pilgrims to venerate.
Right, so guards basically.
And we seek out the relics that have been lost. Neither a coven of heretics nor the most wicked death world can deter Sisters Pronatus when their goal is to return a piece of the great legacy of the Imperium into the hands of the faithful.
Guards and relic procurement. Also, the Order Pronatus is not one of the Order Militant. Yet you are a trained fighter.
Don't let the name deceive you. The Order's militant trains sisters to march onto the battlefield as an army. That does not make sisters who belong to the non-militant orders timid and helpless.
True, heretics don't kill themselves. Sometimes.
Both the solace-bringing Sisters Hospitaller and the enlightened Sisters Dialogus know how to greet enemies of humanity. Their dialogue with heretics is usually quite short, with the last word being a bolter discharge.
Exactly.
And my order has all the more reason to be known for the martial prowess of its sisters. We are the keepers of the Imperium's relics. What would become of our blessed hero's legacy if the Sisters Pronatus could not protect it?
Exactly. So then, why exactly were you in the Cronus Expanse?
The Order sent me to Footfall. My undertaking was to assist the local priesthood of Drusians in caring for a sacred reliquary that had been there since the time of Pastor Mr. Wayne, the station's founder.
Okay, simple enough. Any other Adeptus Sororitas in the area?
None that I'm aware of, but the Sisterhood's orders are many, and can operate independently of one another, sending their sisters wherever their presence is needed as deemed by the Ecclesiarchy. Perhaps somewhere in the Lord Inquisitor's retinue, may his path be blessed, my sisters perform their duty as we speak. I wish it were so. Even a single evening spent in joint prayer and training would bring me joy.
Okay, so a chance we could see more of your sisters then. And then how fierce are you?
It is. The Sisters of Battle are a fire lit by the God Emperor. They are the echo of his voice that travels through the dark expanses of the universe. We bring his wrath to heretics, mutants, and other enemies of humanity. We protect the faithful from the unholy and unhallowed. Sometimes with words, more often than not with a bolter.
Now then, are all sisters truly as faultless as you? I'd say she was faultless.
Even the novices of the Adeptus Sororitas are drawn from among the most worthy. Those who have taken the vows and become a full-fledged sister are the best of the best, tested by trials of body and spirit. Yes, there have been cases when a sister stumbled or showed weakness, but do not expect to hear a story of depravity or downfall from me.
Right, so you don't talk in rumors.
Each such occurrence is a great tragedy for us all. Light cannot bear the smallest speck of darkness within. And thus those who have trespassed or shown weakness of spirit are given a chance at redemption. They are called Sisters Repentia, and may the enemy tremble before her, for nothing can stop a sister of battle who yearns to be cleansed of faults and weakness.
Yeah, quite the crazy Sister Repentias.
Wearing nothing but robes, no armor, eviscerator in hand, those sisters who have once faltered find repentance on the battlefield. Their lives are seldom long, but a death in the name of purgation is a better fate than to live with a shadow in one's soul.
Are there no more questions?
Should any more arise, keeping them to yourself would be imprudent. It is a virtue to take an interest in holiness.
Yeah, how did you end up on a ship?
I first came here when I found myself in need of passage from Footfall to a remote planet. But I imagine what interests you is not that first journey, but rather what brought me aboard prior to the cultist attack. That story is complicated. It just so happened that
She stopped short.
I made a mistake. In a moment of laxity, I was ambushed by the accursed followers of the archenemy. I was badly wounded. Lady Theodora came to my aid and brought me aboard her ship, where crew attended to me in my weakened state. It all happened not too long ago. I had barely recovered from my wounds when the cultists struck. Truly, the servants of evil know no rest. There is no place where we can be safe from their machinations.
Right, heresy everywhere. Yeah, what happened to the people who wounded you? Did Theodora's men eliminate them?
Sadly, they did not. Lady Theodora was in a hurry and chose not to stay on the planet. Her people took me to a ship while I was unconscious, and when I came to my senses, we were already flying away. How I pray to come face to face with those heretics once more, and it's bound to happen someday.
Right, so they rescued you but weren't able to take down the heretics. Don't sound that happy. Difficult to accept that you made a mistake.
It happens even to the best of us. My mistakes are my burden to bear. I'll find a way to atone for them.
Well, somewhat of a good attitude, just don't be overzealous about that. So where did this happen?
On one of the recently discovered planets in the Expanse. No one suspected that it had already been tainted by the filth of heresy. Had I known it beforehand, of course I would have been on my guard. The path to that planet was lost. All the knowledge is gone, along with the previous navigator. It would take immense effort and resources to rediscover the route. The heir to the von Valancius Protectorate must have plenty of other issues to deal with right now. Perhaps later, when the skies above our heads have cleared.
Alright, at least you're being realistic about this. So what was it like traveling on Theodora's ship?
I hadn't been here that long. Just one journey from Footfall, and the other journey, the majority of which I spent in the confines of the Medbay. I can't tell you much about the first voyage. I was more focused on prayers and ruminations than on the people around me, or the journey itself. During the last journey, Seneschal Viserion stood out for me. He came by several times to ask about my health. He's an honorable man and a loyal servant of the Imperium. I think he is as meticulous in his inspections of the logistics systems as he is in his inquiries about the health of the occasional sister of battle aboard the ship. But not all of Theodora's people have earned my trust. You know who I'm talking about. There is no place for Adira Talas among the God Emperor's faithful. I'm surprised she wasn't in league with the cultists. And I'm equally surprised by how deep heresy and treason run in this place. I'm glad we all made it through that dark hour. May the day that follows be bright. As you wish.
Nope, as long as you don't try to kill her, should be good. Just giving you my written no. That's not later.
About me? I am the Emperor's daughter and his servant. What else is there to tell about me?
I just want to quickly see if Heinrich has anything to say about the whole orphan deal. No, okay. Okay, that's a whole lot. Let's just quickly see what Adira has to say, and then we'll move on. Tall middle-aged woman stares straight ahead, her eyes vacant as she rubs the implant at her temple. Collar is undone, and one of the clasps is on the verge of falling off. Sensing your presence, Adira turns her head towards you and offers a crooked smile, even as her eyes look right through you. Why are you asking what it's like being a psyker? You're also a psyker.
You could ask yourself that question, eh, Lord Captain?
Exactly.
Every psyker feels their connection with the warp in their own way. One person might see spots and shadows out of the corner of their eye. Another feels fingers running down their spine. As for me, I've got a door in my head. One that's open just a crack. There's no way to close it, no matter how hard I try. I've just had to get used to the whispers from the other side. When I need to use it for work, I listen in more closely. But I usually just try not to notice it.
Yeah, how do you live with all that whispering?
Training, habit, and a little amasec and a couple other things you can get on the lower decks. If you put all those together, it makes things bearable. Sometimes I even wonder if I'm imagining half the voices I hear. You know, when life on board gets a little boring. Better than listening to the living, anyhow.
Okay, so I guess that's your way of dealing with it. I wonder if the unsanctioned psychers, they deal with the whole thing not any different than the sanctioned ones. Aren't you afraid of losing control? Of course she would be. What happened to the door burst open? Yeah. Well, obviously her head explode. And summon all sorts of demons. Nothing about the future.
Alright. That's what I'm here for after all. So, I'm just going to lean on that door in my head a little more, prick up my ears, and listen to what the warp's got to say about you. If you'll allow it, I can listen right now.
Go for it.
All right, let's hear what they're whispering about you.
Adira laughs and rubs her hands together, and suddenly freezes with a vacant smile on her face. Her head slightly tilted. You feel goosebumps appear on your skin and your color begins to waver ever so slightly, as if moved by a breeze from a half-open door.
Seek not on firm ground, but in a golden hall suspended in the void. There waits a child without kin, but with a name blind to truth. She draws the brush across the canvas and does not notice that her palette is full not of paint, but of blood. And with each smear, this well does not deplete, but fills and fills up to the brim. One thing is clear. When this vessel overflows, none will remain unstained. Among the blind men and false prophets, a red-robed sage seeks the answer to a question. He does not know that it is not the answer he must seek, but the question that will draw everything into focus. Will you help him, rogue trader? But mark that sometimes ignorance is sweeter than oblivion. A chained hound chases after glimmers of the aurora, but sparks and the scent of oil confound his nose. A chain trails after him. What will happen if you pick it up? Will you become his mistress, or merely another beast in the pack of his true lord? The glow of dawn bursts forth from its prison. Dungeon walls cannot contain the dark essence wallowing in the dust. A naive cub pushes his nose into a familiar hand, one that holds death in twisted glass. Cherish it or cast it off as a burden. The sword of change has already been raised. What is one more life to it? I'm sorry, Lord Captain. The voices are going wild. I can't make out a thing. I'll try to rein them in somehow, but for now...
Dara strains to listen, then frowns and shakes her head. You say you couldn't hear anything. I felt you did hear quite a bit. Much abilities, where'd you come from? Can you try again?
All right, let's hear what they're whispering about.
Nope, okay, you're done.
Captain, the voices are going wild.
How about
I can't make out a
Argenta?
thing. The little sister is afflicted with her own set of voices, ones that whisper to her about corruption and heresy. The silly girl doesn't realize that if she wants to find the source, she needs to start by looking in her own head.
Okay, you definitely don't like each other.
Of course. Always at your service. Whenever you need me.
Now then, we could talk to... Abelard, where are you? I'll just quick look. Abelard, anything to say? Anything that doesn't feel like it'd be just background information? Yeah, anything useful to know?
A noble aspiration, Lord Captain. I am ready to acquaint you with all the particulars that interest you.
Yeah, what's the situation?
This is a topic for an official briefing, not a casual conversation. But I will try to answer succinctly. And if you permit, in my own words... The Coronis Expanse is considerably removed from the heart of the Imperium. This means that local warp routes become useless within months. Established pathways are regularly subject to attacks from all kinds of rabble. And in the only major port, the Imperium's frigates find themselves moored alongside pirate vessels. Until recently, the Coronis Expanse could hardly have been called a region of the Imperium. The situation has changed with the arrival of the Lord Inquisitor, but not by much. This place operates under its own rules, you see. More radical, so to speak. But ones that allow for a non-standard approach where there is a promise of victory. The Coronis Expanse is considered rogue trader territory for a reason. Only rogue traders have sufficient military might, audacity, and the rights granted them by the warrant to survive the leap into the unexplored part of the Expanse, and in the event of a successful outcome, to hold on to whatever they manage to capture on the frontier. In the first instance, you should treat official representatives of the Imperium with respect. The Expanse may be on the fringes, but it still numbers among the territories of the Golden Throne. The arrival of the Lord Inquisitor has turned the Coronis Expanse into a less wild and uncontrolled region, to the regret of some individuals who had grown inured to the local lawlessness. Rogue traders such as yourself are also servants of the Imperium. They have been accorded special rights and powers. They wield immense authority within their territory, and they enjoy absolute respect in other parts of the Expanse. The most powerful of them are Caligos Winterscale and Incendia Bastal Chorda. Tread carefully when dealing with either of them.
Right, so there is freedom, but there are limits to that.
If we are to speak of unclaimed territory, which is what Footfall is, among the scum that dwells on that handful of asteroids, there are 3 factions that wield considerable influence in the sector. The first is the Kazbala Commission, organized crime in its most primitive form. It holds sway over the Liege of Footfall and has links to rogue trader Winterscale. The second faction is an offshoot of our shining ecclesiarchy, followers of St. Drusus. They are actively building their forces and hold influence over rogue trader Chorda. And finally, the third faction, the Explorators, a wing of the Adeptus Mechanicus. They are willing to die and kill for the secrets of the ancient technological heresies that are hidden among the stars of the Coronis Expanse.
Right, a lot of important people. So about Kunrad.
You know, Lord Captain, I am no admirer of fine art. But when we next find ourselves in a civilized port, with time to spare, I will promptly find an artist and commission a portrait of the individual to whom you refer, with a hole between the eyes. Conrad Voigtveer. That he committed his treachery and escaped with his life was an unforgivable oversight. We both served Lord Captain Theodora for many years, and we never saw eye to eye. He was brash. He was never afraid of assuming responsibility, and he willingly took on difficult tasks. I am loath to admit it, but the von Valancius Protectorate continues to reap the fruits of his labors to this day. His service always garnered my respect. But everything else about him made me want to wring the neck of that two-faced snake. If you are taking comfort in the thought that we will hear no more of Conrad, prepare to be disappointed. You thwarted his plans, his meticulously plotted and nurtured treachery. He is sure to attempt to strike at you, and he will use his contacts and knowledge of the Protectorate to do so. The only question, Lord Captain, is whether you will be able to anticipate his next steps.
Yep, and I'm sure he has all sorts of plans in place and traps.
As you wish, Lord Captain. Lord Captain.
Now then, about that region. On to the world map, sorta. The galactic map. Okay, so that's where we are. Back in Venturus. Okay, and then these are the quests. This one, the Novice Nobilite. New Blood, Machine, Spirit Seeker, Land of Rykid. And then Prison Planetoid. God, which one is that one? Oh, the Navigator. Okay, before we head off there then, let's deal with the non-quest ones first. Okay, just a dead world. Our Captain Astropathic Choir Master Zachary Wise is asking to speak to you via private channel. Oh, you actually have a portrait too. Greetings, your ladyship. I can report that the choir is listening tirelessly to the Immaterium in the hope of picking up voices from the dynasty's ships or worlds. However, we have heard something horrifying instead. Amid the Immaterium's tumult, something is screaming. The scream is driving your choir mad. Until it stops, we have no hope of contacting any of the dynasty's worlds. It is coming from the Wrecked System's Astropathic Station. Okay, how horrifying. I don't think we've been introduced. What's the nature of the scream? Yeah, first off, introduce yourself. You need not. We meet under lamentable circumstances. My name is Zachary Weiss, and I am proud to be the choir master of your ship's astropathic choir. The duty I perform is to keep you in contact with the expanse via astropathic message sent from the warp by trained psychers. Good. Good. Although I did not mention whether or not you were here serving with Theodora, or if you were promoted after the whole heresy deal. Okay, what is the nature of this scream? We do not know, your ladyship. It has brought the Immaterium to a boil. It has always been a violent, roaring ocean that could spell doom to any who would consider stepping into the waters. Now, however, it has become a cradle of madness where expelled images fuse together, twisting and cackling before crashing into the minds of all who perceive it. A mighty warp storm like the likes of which I cannot recall rages in the Imperium, and it fills me with terror. Okay. So if the screaming stops, we'll be able to contact someone. I humbly hope so, your ladyship. Perhaps we'll manage to send a call for aid to the Valancius worlds, or one of the dynasty's allies. Yeah, definitely useful, especially making sure that everyone knows about Kunrad being a traitor. Yeah, pay a visit to that station. Okay, was gonna head over to the unidentified voice ship, but let's head towards the astropathic station. The astropathic station is the head of the voice ship. It is motionless. There is a lifeless silence across its vox frequencies. Its lights are out. Even those who have no warp sensitivity can feel the presence of death. It is here, lurking in the shadows. All this makes reading the reports of the ship's astropaths who claim to be hearing an incessant ghostly howl emanating from the station all the more disturbing. Okay, try once again to contact them. No response. Okay, scout team. The enforcers offered the prayers and proceeded to enter the uncanny station. What they saw inside was monstrous. Astropaths upon their thrones, not quite here, not quite now, smudged, as it were across time, servants reliving their horrible deaths again and again, only to be reborn out of the ashes and blood into more agony moments later. The warp manifested itself here, twisting the very nature of existence. The main hall was covered in a crust of psychic ice. A green-robed, blinded old man sat motionless on a tall throne. He was quite literally embedded in the ice, yet he was still alive and screaming. Okay, we could send Zachary to that. Would be more of an expert, I suppose. Choirmaster Wise boarded the station in person and proceeded to the choir's hall. He stood silently for hours in front of a man in frozen ice, held a telepathic conversation with him. Master Wise offered a prayer to the Latimer, and the unfortunate man passed away. Upon returning to the ship, Wise reverently presented the Lord Captain with a grim trophy, the late Choirmaster's amulet taken from his frozen body after his death. The Null of Nightmares, worn by Sacred the Wearer, gains immunity to the horrors of the warp effect. Oh. Target suffers -5 to weapon skills, ballistic skill powers, and -1 resolve for difficulty tier of the demon for 1 round. Very good. Second street carrying across the stream has been silenced, but this has brought the crew no relief. A chilling realization came to the Astral Pass when they discovered that the cry was making a different sound, one even more terrifying and surreal. It was the melody of a cataclysm born from a warp storm of titanic power so intense that the entire expanse must be able to hear it. It muffles astropathic messages and crawls into second minds, invoking everywhere the same image, a dark, gaping, beastly mouth, cleaving the universe in two. Now the mad choirmaster has finally stopped screaming. The song of the Immaterium has reached the rogue trader's voice ship too. It's almost like he was actually blocking it then. Okay, any more exploration to be done? A brief and chilling chronicles of the station Doom was found in the scribe's records. A warped disturbance of monster proportions wiped out half of the choirs at once, turning the astral pass into living portals through which torrents of the Immaterium's energies poured out. Those who lasted longer bellowed and howled about a black rift that had split the universe into before and after, and a darkness that would devour the Astronomicon's light. Very well, burn everything. Burn it all. Void torpedoes shatter. Fragile station. One can only hope that the unfortunate souls captured by the warp have perished along with their home. Okay, one demonic nest destroyed. Now then, unidentified ship. And also get that equipped. The box crackles to life, and Master Helmsman Rabber addresses you. What we have here, Lord Captain? It's not very noticeable, but there's a void ship sitting in the local asteroid field. It sure is quite like it's huddled up in there on purpose. It's not like I'm surprised. The thing is more scrappy than at this point. Somebody sure went to town on it. We are registering a critical damage to the hull and depressurization of several compartments. Oh, there's an incoming transmission now too. Ragged voice ship, hear us. The void transmission hisses and abruptly cuts to static. Did not require assistance. He did not require assistance. Copy. The box relays a different voice. Keep following. They'll pass us by, won't they? Emperor protects? Is that what it is? Our captain, I'm told that our augurs cannot determine the allegiance of this vessel. To be brief, there is an unidentified and badly damaged vessel within an asteroid field near the Rakati filial colony that is refusing help, which, not to put a fine point on it, has not yet been offered to them. Can we establish communication and let the vessel identify itself? Yes, Lord Captain, the connection established. Unknown vessel. We are receiving you. Identify yourself. I repeat, identify yourself. For a brief moment, the box only hisses and snaps, and then several voices at once start shouting over one another. Do not tell. Do not tell. Tell them we are done for. This is a Thunderfang. We are. One of the voices falters uncertainly and is replaced by another. Merchant vessel, do you copy? We are a private merchant vessel. Merchant vessel, of course they are. Where did I hear this name before? Thunderfang. Okay, damage reports. Can identify. They're obviously lying. Target them. Leadership, please restrain your anger. The white ship has a spacious hold. Perhaps you'd be willing to establish trade relations. Let us at least find out who they are before you smite them with your righteous fury. Well, you should at least maintain targeting lock just in case. Maybe a warning shot would do. May the God Emperor bless your wisdom. Right, so why can't we identify you? You can make out hoarse and furious whispering even over the crackling of static. Why, I don't know. What if? Certainly not. The whispering dies and a clear youthful voice cuts through the static. Our vessel is badly damaged. Damage is preventing the correct identifications, we assure you. Something merchant vessel Thunderfang does not require aid. Right, Rabor. What is the damage report on them? Telemetry shows multiple hull breaches, most likely caused by the guns of combat ships. Several compartments are leaking air. The bridges have been completely obliterated. 2 of the engines are critically damaged. Somebody gave them a thrashing. So solid they barely managed to limp away. Yeah, what happened to you guys? The box responds by bursting into cacophonous sounds, words, and emotions. Someone chuckles bitterly, another swears with some foul expletive, and yet another hisses, furiously demanding that the others shut up. You manage to make out little from all this noise. We're just flying minor business straight out the blue end. Fire. Miracle we get away, Emperor protected. And then more fire. Who? Void only knows. Roasted our tail, bombed everything. Our folks are left with our ship. We never got to them. Oh, our folks left with our help. So there were others and they ran away. Yeah, stop playing games. Up and away, we done idiot. It's too late now. Do you copy? We are from the Fellow of the Void. We did not come here to loot. On a different business to help our own. Out of jail. Do not hurt. Please, we already had our chronos cleaned. How about striking a deal? All this full of plunder, goods. In case you're unaware, Lord Captain, the Fellowship of the Void is a disorderly assembly of several dozen pirate factions in the Chronos Expanse. They consider themselves above regular heretics, slowly because they sometimes have vox conversation with those whom they are about to board. Were it up to me, I would make them eat a salvo from the macro cannons to shake the scum loose from the decks. They certainly deserve it. Alright, pirates. The noted voice of the high factotum interrupts this translation with a polite cough. I'd wait on destroying the vessel if I were you, although the moral aspects of their livelihood do cause some awkward questions. The Fellowship of the Void remains a major supplier of goods to the local market. Perhaps you will find dealing with them acceptable, especially in a situation where performing a warp jump is impossible. Right, apparently can trade with them. Do you have anything useful? Okay, yeah, it is actually just a trader. flamer sounds nice. Oh yeah, the way this works is that as long as we meet the profit requirement, we can just take wherever we want. Okay, range checks increase target's dodge by 5. Yeah, just take it all. Yeah, I really hope they fix this. Yeah, it was quite bugged first time around. Did not reach the highest tiers of relations, reputation. Okay, so they want heretic trophies and xeno trophies. Okay, we'll hold on to our current cargo for now then. Can you, Flamer, weren't those your thing? Okay, get yourself a flamer. Give yourself the camouflage cloak. And heavy armor, Abelard. Now then, okay, with those taken care of. Okay, can deal with the prison planets. Can deal with the actual colony, see what's going on there. Could deal with the guide. Were any of these set as particular priority? Oh, those are completed. Let's see. Okay, this was the one looking for heretics. So, should put the new navigator. Replace the crew. Let's replenish the crew then. Make sure we get the basic functions first. Okay, that's gonna clear out quite a few quests as well. As the ship makes its way through the star system, a strange fatigue falls over you. Your eyelids grow heavy and the quill you have been using to draw up yet another order falls from your hand. Understandable, this days be like that sometimes. You raise your head with a start. Someone else is here in your study. You stand up and stare at the dozen upon dozens of corpses surrounding you. Among the number you recognize the disfigured and bloodied faces of those who died on the ship's bridge, and those you met in your previous life. How is this possible? Where are the forces posted to stand guard? It matters not, you are alone against a horde of heretics, risen from the darkness to take your life. Oh, you're going insane. Fantastic. As if on its own accord, the shard lying on the edge of the desk, sole remnant of Coonrad wood as a weapon, slips into your hand. The metal is searing cold. The dead sway from side to side, closing in around you in a nightmarishly slow advance. Stop, I do not wish for any to die. Step back or else. Be authoritative. Kneel before the rogue trader, your lives belong to me. All you hear in response is unintelligible whispers, moans, and derisive laughter. Anger ignites your chest, and you clutch the sword which ravenously bites into your palm with a sharp edge. An unbearably bright light floods everything around you, and you find yourself surrounded by groveling minions, their bodies shivering in your mere presence. Your hands no longer hold a pitiful shard, but a majestic and intricate weapon. A skillfully crafted sword with a strange unnerving proportions, curved design, and an unusual hilt, adorned with the image of a closed eye. The eye opens wide, revealing a gaze so ancient and dark that it steals your breath away. You have felt this gaze before, there on the bridge, and the voice that appears in your mind only confirms your guess. The tapestry is woven, the path is chosen, accept your fate, champion. No, I think not. Don't serve the demons. Your body refuses to obey your mind. The handle feels as if it has become one with the hand, and the gaze of the demonic eye sets your very soul ablaze. Resisting your fate is futile. You scream as you feel your soul burn away to ash. You awaken from the vision, kneeling next to your desk, clothes drenched in sweat, with a sour taste on your tongue. Your head is ringing, and you struggle to recall those faces and the image of the sword in your hand. Only the deep cut on your palm and the bloody shard lying on the floor remind you of what just transpired. You'd rather die than touch the thing again as you reach a shaking hand for the box and call for a servitor. Now you just have to wait for the mindless automaton to arrive, pick up the cursed artifact, and head for the nearest airlock to be claimed by the void. Oh, well, we actually got rid of it. Good work. Very cursed artifact. Good idea to get rid of it. Although, yeah, you kind of very much lose track of it that way. Yeah, hopefully that won't come back. But it's in the back. Oh, look at the account. Nope, don't need to do that. At least not right now, and apparently there are goods here. Additional resolve whenever they kill an enemy. And then special cloak. Learn that full wounds gain +5 to all characteristics. Any more freebies? No, that's the bridge. Nobody hiding in the bedroom. Unfinished letter. His chagrin is irrelevant. Whiteford's mistake cost me too much. Years of work, tremendous resources, all wasted. He has failed what was supposed to be irreproachable at uncovering spies, and this one was a senior officer. I am not about to discard him. Kunrad has served me for too long for his move to go painlessly for the Protectorate. Besides, he is no fool. He could not have seriously expected to become the next in the Valancius line when his skills and talents as Master Wizards are so valuable. Let his disinheritance serve as a humiliating but instructive lesson from which he may yet learn. Outskilled himself from the promotion. Cracked data slates. Final transactions are within the charges are complete. The fire reckoning is now fully equipped. The object has been loaded aboard with its containment intact and placed in the forebay to ensure maximum contact with the target. Coordinates sent and received by the bridge. Target's estimates from arrival in the system. Hurricane crew is crewed by Servitor. Chances of the ship returning are minimal. Estimated time. Did not want that in the cargo. Oh, we have our own bath attendant. Alright, considering you said you woke up drenched in sweat, bath before heading to the bridge. Oh, all the servants. Soothing water caresses your senses, and your grateful muscles welcome the chance to rest. A pleasant languor spreads through your body as you allow yourself a moment of quiet relaxation. Oh, relaxing bath would be nice. The tension slowly retreats as you bring yourself to complete stillness, joint by joint, muscle by muscle, pore by pore. Before long, you have surrendered the bastion of your body to the bliss of oblivion. Troubles, worries, loss, such things do not belong in this newly established dominion of tranquility. There are only the infinite waters of witlessness in which, stripped of all things superficial, the mind drifts in silent bliss. It is the conscious mind what fills its consciousness. Oh, can we further boost our particular alignments? Iconoclast. Blessed are those who keep her afloat in these waters who will drown. And who will she manage to pull to the surface? Iconoclast +3. Excellent. Feel revitalized. Any other bonuses to that? Well-deserved rest effect applied. Higher initiative in the next combat. One-time bonus that disappears after the combat ends. That is pretty cool. I wonder if it works. I wonder how often we can take this. Yeah, because you can't really be using it against boss fights. And as for the planet, once again, land. Starport, take our people. Oh, that's rather chaotic. Not a very nice planet, is it? The starport greets you with a din of ordnance and the smell of explosive tickles. The smell of explosive tickles your nostrils. Is able to tell through the smoke who is firing at whom. Sergeant Malgar, among the cracked rockcrete and bent plasteel, you notice a man in the warden's uniform. He stares at the gleaming gold of his shuttle. Surprised, did the governor send his personal guards? No matter. What are you standing there for, meat? Are you waiting for the rebels to blast your bucket again for good measure? The skies above the capital are blocked by enemy fire. All aerial traffic has been halted. What pests give you clearance to deploy? Sergeant Malgar. By the saints, I'm Sergeant Malgar, and you lot report to me now. Straighten yourselves out and drag your arse after me. I'll map out a defense sector for you. By the end of his tirade, the sergeant's voice grows quieter as his eyes focus on your expensive gear. Abelard turns purple. By the Holy Throne, what is this mess? Theodora glances around. Then a rough spot, old man. Go easy on them. Yes, announce yourself. I am the rogue trader. Give me a status report this instant. With a mixture of awe and terror, he snaps attention. He raises his freshly cut chin like an exemplary soldier and barks. My mistake, ma'am. At once, the starport is under control of the governor's wardens. Perimeter command is A frag grenade explosion cuts off the rest of the sergeant's words. Shrapnel flies over with a piercing screech, and one of the soldiers falls to the ground, clutching the remains of his farm that is now adorned with crimson tatters. Blood is pouring out of the stump, and the soldier's agony is short-lived. The sergeant curses and hastily says an army prayer for the dead. With a rasping cough, the sergeant turns back to you. Pardon. Sergeant Las Malga reporting. My unit is holding the starport on the governor's orders. How may I serve? Yeah, first off, is there a member of the Inquisition here? At the word Inquisition, the sergeant's face filled with awe. I don't know. There definitely haven't been any visitors like that on my watch. You might have to inquire at the headquarters. Okay then. Then what is going on here exactly? Unrest, armed rebellion in both the capital and the provinces. First, the lower levels sparked. Then went up the spires to hit the box hubs, the arsenals, the mag train stations. Very organized. My unit here. Well, my unit was here when it all went to the Groxes. Tech priest linked to the satellite. Linked to the satellite reported sightings of strange voice ships in the system. They were orbiting Star until one of them set course for a landing on Rykid. On Rykid Majoris, the government took precautionary measures and ordered to increase security at key facilities. Everyone knows that whenever something's not right, you better double the warding detail. The alarm was raised and we were sent to secure the starport. It's the only reason we were able to hold it. There is fighting in the capital, but we're holding strong. Giving a quarter to the rebels, never protects. Went to Rykid Minor's as soon as you could. Right, so somewhat time limited then. Yeah, so clearly then when we go to the other stations, there are going to be probably more significant problems. I don't think we can lose anything too permanent then at the other stations. At least not with the one that has the navigator, considering that is actually important for actual progression. Now then, any idea about the cause of the rebellion? That was the wrong button. How can some pathetic rebellion be cause enough for such a lackluster welcoming ceremony? Did not mean for that one. Apologies. I couldn't have known. I wasn't notified. Had we known we were expecting such an eminent visitor, we would have, at the double, with all due devotion. Can't even get a clue now for that. Alright, so about the shuttle then. Affirmative. It's all of those rebels. Those mags somehow got their hands on an anti-aircraft battery and it's causing our shuttles to enter trouble. That thing really packs a punch. You're lucky they missed you. See them fry 2 shuttles carrying reinforcements, not a soul arrived. Yeah, unless the governor's nearby, I'm guessing we can't see him until we deal with the cannon that they have. If I'm report, as long as the rebels keep shooting their anti-aircraft battery, there's absolutely no way to shuttle you to the governor. Fair enough, it would have to be on foot and the streets are dangerous. I have no one to send with you as an escort. I assigned all available troops to accompany the esteemed tech priest to the governor. I will boxcast orders to them to wait for you. Then on inform headquarters, they better send a convoy to meet you halfway. Meanwhile, we will follow the governor's orders and hold the line here. Theodora frowns. Her gaze grows distant, as if she is looking through the sergeant. You're a good soldier, but you've got a lot of blood in your hands, both yours and others. You know the same hand that salutes now might falter in darkness. Rank and epaulets won't save you from the bitterness. Pardon me, my lady, but I can't get my head around these fancy words you're saying. I've seen plenty of blood, but trust me, I'll fight to my last straw. Right, tech priest. Weren't we needing one of those? You're a fool of the governor who is safe and sound in the rear, has left for dead, and here you are preaching about the glory. Good fighter would have long since proclaimed starport, move out and attack, you cowardly knave. No, he's doing what he can. Yeah, and if he left his post, the governor would actually have him executed. At least probably. Also, if he wasn't here, then yeah, their landing would have been a much more difficult issue. Yeah, he's doing what he can, and he's still holding the line. Make sure his heroism is noted. First off, the tech priest, a very important person from the Adeptus Mechanicus, arrived on the last shuttle before they locked on the sky. He kept on asking whether anyone by the name Amarant or Armanat or something like that had recently arrived. Barely answered any of our questions, though said he was under no obligation to tell us anything. Of course, he demanded to talk to the governor personally, so I had to send a quarter of my troops with him to keep trouble at bay. Alright, so quite the understaffed. So what's up ahead? Nothing good, the sergeant sighs heavily. Those bastards will shoot anyone walking the street. Our own troops were ordered to fire without warning. You better move with caution. On top of everything else, we mind the streets while we're pulling out. Okay. So, potential for friendly fire. And we failed the logic test. Such an answer is not particularly helpful when danger is all around you in many forms. It is impossible to prepare for it. Unfortunate. Yeah, not a whole lot of logic. Alright. Sergeant is quite happy about that. Live to serve. Another explosion interrupts Sergeant's words with a sigh of relief. He turns to his soldiers and spits out a booming series of commands. Rumors. On your travels, you'll hear many rumors. Those of them that are deserving the rogue trader's attentions are in the journal. And what rumors did we get? Right, the unidentified void ships. Then whatever is going on with Calcazar. So, not much going on this side. Before we continue, be right back. Right. Continue on.
I'm restless.
Patience? My nerves are frayed.
Just do a bit of looting. We'll get everything before we leave. Alright, the helmet. This one is all whenever they kill. What cloak do you have right now? More dodge whenever whatever heroic act is used. Well, you're gonna be out of combat mostly, so shouldn't need that. You should remain at full health. Give me more of the dodge. It's just bonus armor. Yeah, that's only for the first 3 rounds. Gonna give you the helmet then.
That! They almost knocked us out of the air! Some bumbling idiot's going to regret that when he's dragged before the Lord Captain for questioning and trial.
I do not think the rogue trader should take a personal interest in a common crackpot. Summary execution will be sufficient.
Well, considering they are a heretic, execution is kind of the only option. So what do we get? Another shotgun, black chest plates. Yeah, those can all go in there.
One step at a time, amidst the madness.
Now then, how is this going to go?
Another annoyance.
I will take you down.
Combat, you can significantly increase animation speed of your enemies and allies. Oh, okay, holding space. Okay, 2 melee dudes. Rest appear to be pretty much range. 4 melee dudes. Okay, so they're in the back for now. Okay, so they're going first. Do we have any friendly guards? Yes, we do. 1 friendly guard. Okay, yours right there. What's your movement? 8. That was very much wrong button. Did not get to everyone. Well, that worked out somewhat, I guess. Okay, boy degradation is minimal.
What if? Let's see.
Yeah, not too much damage. Didn't that also have aftershock as well? Or did it not count? Oh, it might not count. Might need the other one. The second screen one. And not lined up right.
Victory is imminent.
Let's make it quick.
Where are you even shooting? Oh, you're a bit special, aren't you?
Out of my way. Weapon at the ready.
Fire?
God Emperor, move through me. Be the fire in my heart. Doubt is for the weak.
I think you're dead. Anyways, you can get back to cover now. If you go there, send fire on him. Okay, no chance of hitting that one.
I will bathe this battlefield in righteous fury.
Good enough. No, okay, you're out of range.
But of course.
Could kill you. Yeah, but I think the burning will take care of that. So no point in degrading the veil even further.
Let's get to it. Time to slaughter someone. Show me what you've got.
The Emperor's judgment.
Okay, got the bruiser coming in. Your turn is a bit later. Agitator is still in the back. Okay. Can you set him on fire by any chance?
Let's see.
There's a chance. Though, rather low.
Faith without deeds is worthless.
Alright, he's on fire now.
At your beck and call.
That's your damage. Not quite.
It will be done.
Scared yet? Why did I not? That hand reaches for me.
Let's make it quick.
Suffered worse.
That is some heavy damage. Are you raging woe? And they're enraged. And you have this nice group over here. And no proper coverage. Yeah, be vulnerable from all sides. Yeah, we only be able to get that one. Maybe maybe we should be going after this guy. Okay, the rage effect is from you. It's a voice command.
Rejoice in battle!
Alright, you missed.
Anything else? Be gone.
Yeah, it just makes you guys stronger.
No can do.
Let's get to it.
Tactical disadvantage.
Oh wow, they just one-shot her.
Conservative tactics.
I am powerless to act. A wicked thought.
I will do my duty. Victory is imminent.
Out of my way! Here we go!
From every loss, twisted wonders emerge. Let's get to it.
It's just down to Gamma. Alright, so clear did not work. Need to focus down the agitator. They gain too much of a boost if we just try to kill them individually.
Curiosity, glorious spectacle of your demise. Are you ready to die?
So agitator is right there. We need to rush them down, but we also need to kill the rebels, the bruisers. And we know he can actually, reach up to here. And okay, there's no way on this side.
Hold on!
My ears are ringing.
Time to slaughter someone.
Is that going to explode?
What you got? Patience has failed me.
Let's make it quick.
Cleanses the body. What if?
Get you boost. Yeah, won't be able to get you with Argenta at the moment. The rebel needs to be moved out of the way. Although Adira,
A wicked thought.
can you attack him? No, you cannot.
Was that you? Or
Yeah, can I do an allies enemies on him? Can't electrocute these guys. Yeah, I still think we should try to focus down the agitator first.
Will do.
Just a minor setback.
Stay vigilant. Let's get to it.
Brace yourself, Abelard.
Out of my way.
Stop it!
Yeah, you can't move. Only we had either kill him first or Abelard had his turn instead.
That is not the Emperor's will.
Ablar's being in the way. We move our gent up here. Yeah, that's just gonna get killed by everyone else.
The enemies of the Emperor will be undone. As the Emperor commands, I act.
It almost set him on fire. Now if our agenda is this route.
I'll do it. Doubt is for the weak.
Let's get to it.
Your sacrifice is inspiring.
My place is at the fore. It will be done. Reduced to dust. Indeed.
Let's get to it.
No more cover. I think you're gonna be dead next turn.
Pain and duty go hand in hand.
Oh, a genius at work.
Okay, got that rubber right there. Would you have enough movement to charge? I think you might, Abelard. Yes, you would have.
It will be done. Victory is imminent.
Let's see.
But that is no cover.
Anything else?
Yep. Bears down.
Tried and tested tactics are the best ones. At your beck and call.
Eradicated.
Let's get to it. My worst day. Yet.
Got to give him the Endurer.
The healing is much appreciated.
There's 2 left.
I've seen worse battles than this in my time. I took care of this one.
Yeah, they're still gaining those stacks. Yeah, Abelard's in cover.
A wicked thought.
And out of range.
Schemes within schemes.
Out my way.
It will be done.
You dodged.
At your beck and call. Indeed.
Huh. Interesting.
I won't sully myself
Out of range.
with that. Through the smoke and gunfire. The wrath of madness.
The dust.
In this tapestry of a world, I am the rogue thread.
Still glad I did not do Iron Man mode. Okay, so we got that. Scrappy las gun. Might give him the shock baton. Oh, that is actually much better. Yeah, we just lose out a bit on the parry. Also, yeah, the minus 10 to weapons, enemy weapon skill when hit. Also more critical damage. But we get more damage, more armor penetration, and more of an AoE, plus the shove. What do we have for medical bags? Two left. Reduction in weapon skill. As well, weapon skill. Agitator, what do you have? You actually have a good sword. Although it is only on cleave. More damage. You still get the armor penetration. Then just a basic las gun. Alright, we'll switch it out. Also, watch out for the mines.
Oh, failure is a bitter taste.
Look. Huh, people. Lucky Jasper. The eyes lie, final dawn purifies vision. Folks, how about you? Don't come any closer and I don't shoot. Really? Gain true vision, renounce false sights. Alright. Good work. The young, shaggy-haired soldier is still pale nonetheless. As you approach, he holds his pistol, the hallmark of good discipline. Gives you a somewhat frightened but genuine smile. Thank you. You arrived in the nick of time. I don't know what those babbling creeps wanted with me, but it definitely wasn't anything good. Alright, who are you? Lucky Jasper, the governor's aide and personal box operator. I was dispatched to the starport on special orders, the command proclaims, definitely trying to tame his tousled hair. Yeah, so what exactly were you doing here on your own? Following the governor's special instructions, namely, his teeth with a pained expression furrowing his brow. Alright, it's a secret assignment. I can't talk about it. The rogue trader. Oh, get up and hear his thoughts. Or that just threatened him. Yeah, just go with the 100%. What if what you know is priceless intelligence and you were to die before you could relate to anyone? Well, that would make me a saboteur and a traitor, wouldn't it? Yes, you're right, this is an emergency. He looks relieved. Right, well, he doesn't seem very bright. So why exactly were you sent? Supposed to deliver an updated Vox codes and how should I put it? Assess the situation. The planet is a real mess at the moment. The rebels have found a way into our Vox net and are now eavesdropping. This made proper communication impossible. The hallowed electrodynamic Cenobium had sent out a distress call before it went dark. And who even knows what's happening to the system? There's been a riot on Recadiphilia, the prison planetoid. The Rectify station is silent, although the navigators there have always been a reclusive bunch. I was hoping I'd be lucky enough to run into a pilot or captain here who could give me an update, but that's hardly a possibility right now. The rebels are blasting anything that tries to land out of the sky with their cannon. He stops talking a little too abruptly. Really? Persuade him to disclose information and then maim him anyways? Now then, there's something else you're hiding. Nothing classified, just personal. There's another reason why I'm here. My betrothed's missing. Raquel Vicari, the esteemed Vane Winterscale's personal pilot. When the riot reports came from Recadiphilia, Lord Vane headed there personally. Then this rebellion started down here and we lost communication. No one knows how they're doing up there. You know what I'm afraid of? That they'll come back and those rebel scumbags will shoot them out of the sky. I want to find a place that's high up. Several boxcaster there and send them a transmission. Skies closed off, don't try to land, but I didn't make any time. Those blind dogs chasing after me. Then as I was running, I tripped and broke the caster. He hangs his head sadly. I worry for her. She's an excellent pilot, but I'm still worried. Abelard shakes his head disapprovingly. His eyes are understanding. That is why all members of a Whiteship clan share the same employment. No matter how devoted a servant the Emperor is to their duty, there is always a danger that family ties might disrupt regulations and order. Pray not for her survival, but for her honorable death should it come to it. Forgive me, but I wish to see her alive. She is everything to me. So be it. So about Urek 5. Not much anyone can tell about it. Station belongs to Navstabilite. Emperor knows what they do up there, or even who lives there. They scorn ordinary folk. The only person they're willing to grace with the audience is esteemed Vane Winterscale. It's beginning to sound like he's complaining. That place is creepy. They say they order shuttles with servants from Rank and Reverse on a regular basis. I guess they're too important up there to change filters and clean compartments themselves, huh? Except I've never met anyone who has served there. It's like no one ever comes back. Not good then. Sounds like there were problems prior to all this. Yeah, Vane went to scale. Shouldn't they be the other rogue trader, or is that someone else? Seeing the honorable sign of the Blessed Rogue Trader, Kalagos went to go. Right, Kalagos is the rogue trader. Right, master of the racket system. At the best of his illustrious father or grandfather or uncle, well, his illustrious relative, Lord Vane took up residence in Racket Minoris. At the prison, okay. You know what I think? I find it curious that Blessed Kalagos didn't make him the ruler of our world. Lord Vane is his blood. But it's the governor who rules us. Then why do you think he's sent him here? I think he's been exiled. Yeah, that is odd. We'll find out when we go there. Not about the governor. Obviously, I'm not some pessimist to say otherwise. Yeah, so what do you really think? Well then, if you ask me, things are pretty rotten. These birds come flying at the rate of stubber fire. Those rebels are strange. We would have easily quelled a normal riot. We're not some commoners. We're Racadians and they will lead up House Winterscale. But those people, the vicious, they know no fear. And their attacks, they're precise, like they know what's going to happen all ahead of time. The command executed 7 officers on suspicion of espionage, but it's not spying. They say the leader of the rebels is some two-faced Aurora who can see into the future. Now she is a real danger. Danger scoffs and rubs her hands together in excitement. She can see into the future, is that right? We'll see about that. She's up against the wrong psyker. Her breezy whispers may be vague, but they've not failed me once. I can tell you without asking my ethereal friends that her future doesn't look too bright now that the Lord Captain is involved. Hey, competition against seers. Now then, by any chance, interrogator. Desperate face quickly turns gray as he says, I have, but I don't know where he is now. I'm sorry, but I don't like discussing the affairs of the Inquisition. Okay, so he may be here. No more questions. It's my pleasure to be of service to you. Be nice to chat to someone normal. And then, are you unharmed? All thanks to you. Those blinding checks are all over the city right now. These rebels, damn them to the void, go around maiming anyone they get their hands on and scorching their eyes. Then they leave the poor sods driven mad by the paint to wander the streets battling nonsense. Yeah, correct. Good shots if they are all blinded. He lowers his voice and adds with gravity. The command doesn't want anyone to talk about what I've heard whispers that it's not just some nonsense, it's heresy, actual heresy. Because listening to it scrambles your brain. He made one patrolman freeze in his tracks while the blind mob got a hold of him and carried him from his post off to who knows where. Right then. Enough of that. You're right, we shouldn't stay here or we might run to rebels. I'll go find a safe place to watch the sky for any landing shuttles. Oh, we can't even loot them. Blind madman.
What lies beyond?
Okay, but that, let's go ahead and end things here for today. Had a lot of dialogue at the beginning, but we finally moved on with the main quest and yeah, started our first mission for this. Got a lot of mysteries going on. What's going on with this blind cult, as well as whether or not it links to what happened on the ship, because it's quite the coincidence of this bit of heresy as well as the heresy at the start. So we shall see where this takes us tomorrow. So yeah, for tomorrow, more Rogue Trader. Wednesday, continuation of Surviving Mars. yeah, continuing our second run of that, where so far it's actually going quite well. Hopefully they won't starve to death. So got that going on for 2 days. And then Friday should be back to Rimworld, starting the new DLC, so long as everything works out. And then a Saturday continuation of our Total War Warhammer 3 playthrough with Gorbad, where turns out we're much farther than I thought we were from completing the long victory. I thought we only had to capture some territories, but no, we actually have to eliminate the Reichland faction, and they have 20 settlements. Quite a bit. So I'm thinking we'll just stick with capturing those few settlements and then end it there for the run, which means potentially finish it this coming Saturday or the following. And with that being the case, we're going to have to move on to something new. And I believe I mentioned this before, that potentially I was thinking of, after finishing up with our current Total War Warhammer 3 run, moving on to a different game temporarily. Yeah, moving on to Phoenix Point. Yeah, so that's kind of like a bit like XCOM. So turn-based grid combat, fighting weird creatures, alien creatures. So got that coming up after our Total War Warhammer 3 run finishes, either this week or next week. And then of course more Rogue Trader on Sunday. So with that, thank you all for watching. Be sure to follow or subscribe to the channel, depending on where you prefer watching, whether it be on Twitch or on YouTube, for notifications when we're online. Otherwise, there's always my social media for updates and notifications. Twitter is at Emery_EE, I am RE_EE, and Blue Sky at Emery-EE. So more or less the same thing, just the difference between dash or underscore, depending on where you prefer to go. But if you do not use social media, I do try to stream every day about the same time, between 12:30 a.m. to 5 a.m. US Central. Usually give it like 30 minutes, and regardless of those odd start and end times, towards the middle is about more reliable when I'm here. Usually. But yeah, and I do try, and as I said, I do try to stream every day. So with that, thank you once again for watching. Thank you all to those who happen to stop by the stream live, as well as a thank you to those who may end up watching the VOD. Hope you're all really entertained, and that you have a good day or night, whichever may happen to be, and that you stop by again next time. With that, thank you and goodbye.